Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 shameless product placements in movies. Specific brand of
Well, that's where
dandruff
I see
shampoo
things
is
just
both
a little
good for a
differently.
flaky scalp
Contractor,
and
no.
the
I will not
extermination
bow to
of
any
aliens.
sponsor.
Head and Shoulders.
For this list,
The
we're
dandruff
taking a
shampoo?
look at products
Yeah,
that
that's the
snuck
stuff.
their way into films
The
in
active
less than
ingredient is
subtle
selenium
ways.
sulfide.
Maybe
When
I'm wrong on
extraterrestrials
this one,
land
but for
on
me,
Earth
the
and begin
beast doesn't
evolving into
include
crazy
selling out.
creatures, a solution is needed to end their reign of terror. And we understand that companies just want to make a buck, but can we at least feel like we're being led gently to their goods and services? Some of these are just insulting in their obviousness.
Hey, what's my Egg McMuffin?
Breakfast is over at 10:30.
Really?
But
Yeah,
that's
I thought
why
it was
they
11.
put
I
fellas
thought
over
that
at
too.
Head and Shoulders, the big bucks. Number 10, Head and Shoulders Evolution.
Let's give it a shot. Come on.
Number 9,
Yeah,
let's do
Taco
it.
Bell
We'll get the
Demolition
troops
Man.
together. We're getting shampoo.
What's with this cocktail guy
If nothing
anyway?
else, we
Says
learned
I
that
saved
this
his life,
specific
which I'm
brand
not
of
even sure
dandruff
I did,
shampoo
and my
is
reward
both
is
good for
dinner
a
and
flaky
dancing
scalp
at Taco
and
Bell.
the extermination
I
of
like
aliens.
Mexican food, but
Head and Shoulders.
come on.
The
What
dandruff
really
shampoo?
stands out to us
Yeah,
as
that's the
strange
stuff.
about Taco
The
Bell's
active
obvious
ingredient is
name
selenium
dropping throughout this
sulfide.
film. When
Is the idea
extraterrestrials
that
land
should a
on Earth
franchise
and
war
begin
actually
evolving
break
into
out at
crazy
some point in the
creatures, a
future?
solution
This
is
is
needed
the
to end
restaurant
their
chain
reign
that
of
would reign
terror.
supreme.
And
Nacho
napalm
supreme, if
ain't
you
gonna
will.
cut it.
Your tone
Us
is
simple folk
quasi-facetious,
probably
but
wouldn't have thought
you do
that
not
pumping
realize that
brand name
Taco Bell was
shampoo
the
up
only
an
restaurant
alien
to
monster's
survive the
rectum
franchise war.
would be the
According to
key
the
to
film,
Earth's
all
salvation.
restaurants are
Haven't
Taco
you
Bells.
noticed how
Except these
shiny
aren't your
and flaky
standard
our
Taco
hair is?
Bells. But that's why they pay the fellas over at Head and Shoulders the big bucks. Swanky dining, waiters, piano playing, and number
dancing.
9, Taco
Because
Bell
nothing says
Demolition
dystopia
Man.
better than a monopolized,
So,
poorly
what's with this
executed
cocktail
American
guy anyway?
interpretation of
He says I
Mexican
saved his life, which I'm not even sure I did, and my reward is dinner and dancing at Taco Bell. I mean, hey,
Number 8,
I like Mexican
Donald's
food, but
Big Daddy.
come on.
What really stands out to us as strange about Taco Bell's obvious name-dropping throughout this film is the idea that should a franchise war actually break out at some point in the future, this is the restaurant chain that would reign supreme. Nacho supreme, if you will.
Your tone is
But let's be
quasi-facetious,
honest,
but
who
you
among
do
us
not realize
hasn't
that
been beefed
Taco
when
Bell
they
was the
arrived
only
too late
restaurant
for
to
Mickey
survive
D's
the
breakfast,
franchise
am I
war.
right? According to the film,
Hey,
all
thanks.
restaurants
My
are
therapist,
Taco
take a
Bells.
walk.
Except these aren't your standard Taco Bells.
Welcome to
Adam
Taco
Sandler
Bell.
manages to loudly mention the phrase Happy Meal about 5 times. This is swanky dining with waiters, piano playing, and dancing. Because nothing says dystopia better than a monopolized, poorly executed American interpretation of Mexican food. And shouted about Subway or Popeye's chicken while he was at it. Number 8, McDonald's Big Daddy.
Hey, Yappy, at the end of the conversation, I'll get you an Egg McMuffin.
Number 7,
about a
Pepsi
sausage
and
McMuffin
Nike,
with hash
the
brown?
Back to
You got
the
a
Future
deal.
franchise. Apparently, screaming at the top of your lungs inside a McDonald's wasn't much cause for concern in the late 90s. To find
Stop
evidence
serving
of these
breakfast
two
at
mega
10:30.
brands.
Horse shit!
But let's be honest, who among us hasn't been beefed when they arrived too late for Mickey D's breakfast, am I right?
Nice parenting. Hey, thanks. See my therapist. Take a
Pepsi
walk.
and Nike as the stand-in dad to an abandoned kid, Adam Sandler manages to loudly mention the phrase Happy Meal about 5 times in 5 seconds.
Well, it's a DeLorean.
Happy Meals? Do you got a Happy Meal?
Whether
Get a
Marty's
Happy Meal?
attempting to
Well,
order
somebody
soda
get the kid a
or
Happy
watching
Meal!
his super maybe he should have taken a page from his other movies and shouted about Subway or Popeye's chicken while he was at it.
What you do is
These
put
brands
it in
earn
your
themselves a
mouth
place
and
in
let
pop
the
culture
meat
history,
slide down your
shameless as it may
throat
be.
hole.
Number 7, Pepsi
6,
and Nike,
Converse
the
and
Back to the
Audi,
Future franchise.
iRobot.
There's almost no reason for us to care what
It's
shoes
easy
Will
to find
Smith is
evidence
wearing
of
in
these
this
two
movie.
mega brands
throughout this film series.
Take a gander at them moccasins. What kind of skis is
Converse
them?
All-Stars,
What's that
vintage
writing name?
2004.
DK. What is that? Some sort of engine
Face up
talk or
like that.
something?
And Pepsi and Nike aren't alone, with the likes of Mattel and, of course, the DeLorean Motor Company also earning top billing in the product department.
Well, it's a DeLorean,
Bear with me,
right?
Marty. All your questions will be answered.
Whether Marty's attempting to order a soda or watching his super cool sneaks lace themselves, we're treated to another scene that features him pulling up in a swanky new Audi,
laces, all
bold
right.
as day. These brands earn themselves a place in pop culture history, shameless as it may be.
All I want is a Pepsi.
Number 6, Converse and Audi,
Nice shoe.
iRobot.
Thing of beauty.
There's almost no
Number
reason
5,
for us to care what
AOL,
shoes Will Smith is
You've Got
wearing in
Mail.
this movie.
Do you know what is that on your feet? It's the end of Western civilization.
Converse
For
All-Stars,
those of you
vintage
too young to
2004.
remember, there was a time in the early
Turn your
days
face
of
up
the
like that. I
internet
know you
when
want some. All
AOL
you gotta
was
do
the
is ask.
popular kid Clearly, Converse is the footwear of choice for the put-upon cop with a robotic chip on his shoulder. especially if he's into the vintage retro style of the 90s. Oh, did we not mention it's 2035? Was such a hotshot company. Their login greeting became the title. If that wasn't enough, we're treated to another scene that features him pulling up in a swanky new Audi, bold as day. Concept cars and Converse on a police officer's salary?
I wanted it to be you so badly.
But that's not all. No soft-shelled
Nice
romantic
shoes.
comedy would be complete without a coffee shop scene. In a Starbucks. Number 5.
The whole purpose of
AOL,
places
you've
like
got
Starbucks
mail.
is for
That's
people
so
with no
sad.
decision
Do you know what this
making
is?
ability
What we're
whatsoever
seeing
to
here,
make
it's the
6
end of
decisions
Western
just to buy one
civilization
cup
as we
of
know
coffee.
For those of you too young to remember, there was a time in the early days of the internet when AOL was the popular kid on campus. We'd seen hints that Michael Bay, of course, this was before Google eclipsed the sun. But Transformers takes it to new levels. AOL was such a hotshot company. Their login greeting became the title of a rom-com starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. And their product became a central plot device of the film.
I wanted it to be you.
is all up in this movie. So much so, it seems
I
like
wanted
one
it to be
giant
you.
sales pitch. But that's not all. No soft-shelled romantic comedy would be complete without a coffee shop scene. In a Starbucks, no less.
The whole purpose of places like Starbucks is for people with no decision-making ability whatsoever to make 6 decisions just to buy 1 cup of coffee.
Number 4. Nintendo, Mountain Dew, and General Motors, Transformers. In case you didn't know, Nintendo was big in the 80s. Like, super big. I've seen hints that Michael Bay may not be subtle with his product placements, but Transformers takes it to new levels of shameless. Mountain Dew and GM weren't the only 2 brands to make an appearance in this base smash-a-thon. Nothing says low-key and nuanced product placement, but theirs were certainly the least graceful. GM is all up in this movie, so much so it seems like one giant sales pitch. There's a plot in there somewhere. But the true genius comes when the Allspark manages to transform a Mountain Dew vending machine into a rootin' tootin' robot in disguise called Dispenser. Nintendo.
Go ahead. Right.
Number 3. Nintendo, the Wizard. Number 2. IHOP. In case you didn't know, Nintendo was big in the 80s. Like, super big. As in, hey, let's basically make a movie about Nintendo games and game-related accessories. They grow up to manage. It just plays like a 96-minute-long commercial big. And it just so happens that in all your nothing says low-key and nuanced product placement, like 3 mega screens with 3 preteens competing in a game of Super Mario Bros. 3.
Find the warp, dude! Find the warp!
There's a plot in there somewhere. Actually, it's kind of a rip-off of the Who's Tommy, and it's supposed to be moving and poignant. Maybe. But all we remember is Nintendo. Shamelessly plug our top pick. Here are a few honorable mentions. Number 2, IHOP, Man of Steel.
Where's Shinobi? I was playing Shinobi.
You know what happens to your childhood bully turned friend after you save them from drowning? They grow up to manage an IHOP. And it just so happens that in all your superpower glory, you swoop through and manage to cause considerable damage to said IHOP. There's really no reason for the audience to even see an IHOP in this movie, let alone more than once. But alas, we keep getting reminded about IHOP. We get it already, and now we want pancakes.
That's what I'm worried about.
Before we shamelessly plug our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Crown Prince Otto, become a true visionary.
That's weird. Where's Shinobi? I was playing Shinobi.
Number 1.
My point is, if we can't beat their defenses,
then
we got to get around them. Major, one more time and time.
Let's be real here. The Mac in this movie's title isn't referring to the mysterious alien.
Not just any box of
It's
Twinkies.
all about
the last
McDonald's.
box of Twinkies
Also,
that anyone
Sears,
will
Skittles,
enjoy
and
in the whole universe.
I'm sorry, excuse me, dude.
In the late 80s, this mega fast food franchise succeeded in having a craptastic ET
Scary
ripoff
because it's
created
new.
around a commercial for its restaurants. Why else would there need to be an impromptu dance sequence in the parking lot of a McDonald's? Even having birthday parties at McDonald's anymore? Number 1. Who did this McDonald's anyway? Mac Ronald and McDonald is literally a character, but we still love it. Let's be real here. The Mac in this movie's title isn't referring to the mysterious alien with creature. Our list? It's What do all you about think is the most McDonald's. shameless product placement
Also,
in movies?
Sears, Skittles, and Coke.
Hi, Coach. How's it going?
In the late
For more
80s,
entertaining
this
top
mega
10s
fast food
published every
franchise
day.
succeeded
Be
in
sure to
having a
subscribe to
craptastic ET
WatchMojo.com.
ripoff created around a commercial for
Fighting the
its
alien
restaurants.
menace can be tough
Why
work.
else would there
So
need
is
to be
keeping
an
your hair
impromptu
clean,
dance
shiny,
sequence
and
in the
dandruff-free.
parking lot
So
of
it's
a
a good thing
McDonald's?
that we always keep a healthy supply of head and shoulders around the house.
Are kids even having birthday parties at McDonald's anymore? Who did this fool anyway? Ronald